A 17-year-old teenager who bears a striking resemblance to Brad Pitt just won a martial arts competition on his birthday. But the one person absent from the celebration was his biological father. In a moment that should have belonged to family and connection, Knox Jolie-Pitt chose to fight in the ring rather than return to the man who once symbolized a perfect family. Brad Pitt's absence was no longer a coincidence. It marked a temporary end to a father-son relationship that has been quietly fracturing day by day. The viral photo on social media, showing Knox in a black t-shirt and Muay Thai shorts, proudly smiling next to his coach after his victory at the IKF Point Muay Thai technical event, wasn't just a snapshot of a boy growing up. It was a silent but powerful declaration. I'm growing up without my father. Angelina Jolie was there, Brad Pitt was not. While fans continue to cling to the memory of the once idyllic Jolie-Pitt family, reality has unfolded. Knox, the young man often seen as a mini Brad, now chooses personal triumph over reconciliation. And perhaps the most painful truth? This was his 17th birthday, the final milestone before legally becoming an adult. According to Radar Online, Brad Pitt had attempted to reach out to the twins, Knox and Vivienne, hoping for even the slightest chance to reconcile. Brad desperately wants to see his kids, a source shared. But ever since Vivienne removed the Pitt surname from her name, the message has been clear. The children no longer see him as their emotional center. Brad was reportedly devastated by Vivienne's decision. Still, he held on to hope through Knox, the only child who still carries the Pitt name, perhaps as the last fragile thread linking two separated worlds. And yet, Knox's 17th birthday served as a sobering reality. Fatherhood cannot be repaired by unilateral effort alone, no matter how heartfelt. Brad may have once been the devoted father and emblem of family values, but years of post-divorce disputes with Jolie have worn down every bridge he's tried to rebuild. A close source confirmed, Brad is a family man. His love for Jolie and the kids remains strong. He's never had any intention of abandoning a single one of them. But on his son's special day, this father stood on the sidelines, watching from afar, with no birthday message, no embrace, and no presence. While most children of A-list celebrities often choose to step into the spotlight as a shortcut to fame, Knox Jolie-Pitt, the son who bears an uncanny resemblance to Brad Pitt, has taken the opposite path, quiet, reserved, and almost invisible to the media. And yet, he draws attention effortlessly. His masculine features, towering height, and casually stylish fashion sense make him stand out every time he's seen in public, without a single word, without chasing the spotlight. It is, in fact, his silence that speaks the loudest. At 17, instead of appearing at lavish parties or red carpet events, Knox spends time with his family at shopping centers, far from the noise of celebrity culture and social media declarations. He doesn't pursue the stereotypical celebrity kid image. Instead, he's becoming a new kind of symbol, one of quiet maturity, subtle strength, and magnetic presence that doesn't demand attention but commands it. While his twin sister Vivienne is outspoken, spirited, and somewhat rebellious, often described as Angelina Jolie's mirror, Knox is her perfect counterbalance, quiet, introspective, and understated. This contrast between two children born into the same global dynasty highlights not just personality, but two entirely different emotional worlds. Vivienne reflects her mother's fire, independent, bold, and fearless. Knox, with his solemn gaze, composed demeanor, and soft gestures, seems to carry the shadow of his father, a man he was once deeply bonded with, but from whom he now seems to be drifting away. So why would a young man, with striking looks and an enviable family name, choose to live in retreat? Is his calm exterior hiding emotional depth shaped by wounds never openly acknowledged? Knox's silence cannot be detached from the years of legal battles and public disputes between his parents. The highly publicized divorce between Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt left more than a tabloid legacy. It left an invisible mark on the children who grew up under relentless media scrutiny. Among them, Knox has chosen not to speak. but even that choice is its own kind of voice. He lives quietly, not from a lack of identity, but perhaps because he's seen too much of what silence in adults often tries to conceal. Knox still carries the Pitt name, a seemingly small detail, but one loaded with emotional weight. When Vivienne removed her father's surname, the message was unmistakable. In contrast, Knox's decision to keep it may hint at a lingering connection, or at least a silent respect for the man who once stood at the center of his world. But this doesn't mean Knox seeks reconciliation, especially since he declined to see his father on his 17th birthday. And on that same birthday, Knox stepped into the Muay Thai ring, fought and won, cheered on by his mother but with no sign of his father. It was a physical victory, but also perhaps an emotional one, a quiet assertion that Knox is coming of age on his own terms, without needing anyone to lead him. His masculine appearance, composed energy, and decision to withdraw from the chaos of fame have turned Knox Jolie-Pitt into a quiet phenomenon. No headlines, no interviews, yet emblematic of a generation that no longer needs adult approval to define itself. In Knox's silence, what do we truly see? A boy rejecting his father, or a soul protecting itself by refusing to let others too close? It's a question worth pondering, not just for the Jolie-Pitt family, but for every parent who may have forgotten. Children grow not by control, but by being heard, even in the silence. Brad Pitt may have played many father roles in film, but perhaps the most difficult role of his life is being a father off-screen, with no script, no director, and at times, no second take. So the real question is Knox truly cutting ties with his father? Or is this just a necessary retreat, a survival instinct amid the chaos of a broken family? Will Brad Pitt have the patience and time to rebuild what's been lost? Or is this the quiet end of a once revered father-son bond? The answer won't be found in a photo, a post, or even a phone call. It lies in the years ahead, when Knox fully enters adulthood, and Brad Pitt learns what it means to be a father from the furthest distance imaginable, outside the heart of his own son.